It's all about staying on top of the water, the surface tension. So if you can stay on top of the surface tension, you're gonna win.
Swimming looks simple from the outside. You push away from the edge, move your arms, kick your legs, and somehow stay afloat. But when you cannot swim, the water feels very different. Every movement feels rushed. Every breath feels badly timed. The harder you fight to stay above the surface, the more tired you become. So this is not a film about swimming across a lake, breaking records, or becoming some kind of athlete. The goal is much smaller. Learn to breathe, learn to float, learn to put my face in the water without panicking, learn how to move forward even if it's only a few meters. These are basic skills, but sometimes the most basic things are the hardest to begin. So the first one is about breathing. Every time your face is in the water, you're breathing out. Every time your face is out of the water, you're breathing in. And it's a lot like blowing up a balloon. So every time your face goes in, you're blowing up a balloon slowly with your lips closed. Even to allow water has a pressure. So as soon as you put your face in the water tries to rush up your nose. So one of the first things is to be able to put your face into the water and equalize against that pressure by breathing out slightly. You don't have to breathe out all the time. You can hold your breath, but you need to equalize that pressure, so you need to match it as you go in. It's also to do with kind of the angle that you put your face into the water. So if you put your face in face down and just blow out, that's one way to get used to putting your face in the water and learning how to breathe. Learning to float is mechanics. So you'll see at the very start of this clip that I'm in fresh water, not salt water, and somehow I'm able to float. And that's all to do with just the tilt of my head. Now you can't see it so easily in the video, but again we're utilizing surface tension on the top of the water, and we're also tilting the head back to such a degree that the eyes are in the water, not the nose. And there's a certain amount of breath holding and to keep the buoyancy. So the human body really has to work hard to be able to float, and that skill of being able to float on top of the water took at least 30-40 years of my life to figure out how to do that. Moving forward it's almost like you want to always aim for the target of getting everything up on top of the water and staying on top of the water. It's almost like you need to be gentle with the surface tension. If you break the surface tension too much, you're going to go down. Your legs are going to go down. Again, it's a tilt of the head forward. If you're in a forward stroke, it's a tilt of the head down. Not so much looking where you're going, but looking down. That will bring your feet up. And then the momentum will keep you going forward. So in the water, you have to trust something. You can't hold on. That's another thing. And so learning how to address how you move independent parts of your body at different times is something really you'll only get in an environment and teach yourself. We learned this teaching tennis to kids. I used to always say to the kids, I'd say, "Who teaches you tennis?" And the kids would say, "My granny teaches me tennis." Or they'd point at me and they'd say, "You teach me tennis." But the reply I would give to them was, "No, you teach yourself tennis." And we were taught that after 200 connections on the ball, the child would teach themselves tennis. And so it is about frequency, how much you can get into the water in a safe environment where you can put your feet down and test out your abilities and teach yourself how to swim. It is about teaching yourself. There's nothing I can really teach you except for some of the technical things. Things like breathing while lying on your back with your feet connected to somebody holding you from below. As you get used to this, as you get used to not panicking and you get used to breathing, it's one of the things I remember from learning how to swim, is just being at the edge of the swimming pool and somebody holding me from below up in the water and allowing me to find where that sweet spot is. These are the basic skills, but sometimes the most basic things are the hardest to begin. On dry land, we're used to being in control. We know where our feet are. We know where the ground will support us. In water, if you go down under the water and the depth is below you, this is a really strange feeling, and it takes an awful lot of confidence with swimming to go out of your depth. Perhaps that's the real lesson, is your instinct. Every instinct tells you to tense up, and you must get used to that instinct, because that instinct is trying to save you. The water doesn't reward any sort of panic. It does not care how strong you are or how determined you appear. It asks you to slow down, breathe properly, and work with it. And there's a lot of connections between swimming and tennis. You know, about thinking about what you're doing, that each time you come back to the pool, it's a bit of relearning how to coordinate the stretch out. I mean, it is very much like flying. It's a stretch out and a kick. It's another stretch out and an opposite kick. And then you need to breathe. You need to breathe while one hand is dropping to pull you up. So your left hand goes in. If you're a right side breather, your left hand goes in, your head goes up. And just as your head comes out of the water, you also have to blow the last bit of your air out to stop water coming in when you take that breath. And that's one of the that's the hardest part of swimming, is to take that breath. But technically, it's not that difficult. It is head down, breathing out during the stroke, last bit of breath out when you turn your head to clear the airway of any water, and then breathe in. Because learning something new is rarely one dramatic breakthrough. It's usually a collection of tiny victories. And that's what you'll get from swimming. I'm simply trying to show someone to be no longer afraid to learn with this video. So some of the things you'll see, we'll go through them, like swimming underwater. These things are absolutely amazing. To be able to swim 25 meters on one breath calmly is a really wonderful thing to watch and a really wonderful thing to learn. And I was blessed with some people who pushed me to learn how to swim underwater. I was blessed to be able to swim a lot and also learn different ways of swimming compared to the ways that I was taught. Like my breaststroke is totally different than the way I was taught, and much more efficient. I go much further in a breaststroke than the way I was